introduction, this is going to start teaching you some things that we can use on Google Sheets that is lovely. Okay, so first, if we're going to identify linear patterns or exponential, let's start with linear, the first basic thing that we've talked about. What I'd like for you guys to do is to find the difference between each day, okay? And first we need to identify the days, right? So we're going to mark this day as the 0th day. This is the beginning of our data set. So what I'm going to do is plug in the number 0, okay? Most people may go 0, 1, 2, 3, and I'm hitting enter. So I'm plugging in the number and I hit enter and it goes to the bottom one. That is elementary for Google Sheets. What we want you to do, or what I'd like for you guys to develop, is you could plug in the number 0. Okay, what you can do is now you can create a formula. You must make an equation sign. So if you're new to Google Sheets, they have this function up here. And so it's telling us G5, this is called a cell. So G5, where we're at, so 5 here, G is up there, G5. We can create a function. We can create an equation. Tons of data stuff that we can use. But the only way to do it, if you type a number in, it's going to be left up there. So we're going to make an equation here, and we're going to speed up this process. So we're going to put equation equals whatever this cell is, whatever the cell from G4 is, we are going to add 1 to it. And whatever that cell is, it's going to go to the G5 cell. So you see, notice how this is 0, 1. It did it on its own, so I created a formula. So if you put 2, that would be 3. If you put 3, that would 4. So it depends on what that cell is. So I'm going to plug in 0, okay? And what we're going to do is I want that to continuously go on with all the way to the bottom, okay? So we got all our days there. So that's a little copy and paste that we have here. So if you look at every single one of these, they're just going to keep adding from the previous cell. It's a great feature to have on Google Sheets, okay? So that is how we kind of do a little formula to work on with that. The next thing we would like to do, is this a linear pattern? Okay, and so what is the difference between all these days? Okay, so what we want to do is we want to have a data set of days and how many that we've kind of accumulated there. Okay, so what I'd like to kind of really just quickly talk about is we can create a formula. Let's pretend we did not know the new cases and all we knew was the cumulative cases. So let me go here and let me hide this column real quick. All right, let's pretend that didn't exist there. So I just hid it for the time being. Okay, and let's say we just knew the cases to date and we knew the cumulative. So you could do the math. 13 minus 11, there was 2 more added that day. 18 minus 13, there was 5 more added for this date as well. What we can do is we can make an equation, okay? So we got to be careful here. We got to make sure it's accurate. So from February 23rd to February 24th, we had 2 more cases that were added on, okay? That would go from here. So there was 1 case going here. So like maybe from right here, we can put a couple that we can do. So there's 1 new. So there's cases to that date and a cumulative 11. So that means there was 1, okay? And then what happened here was there's 11 there and then 13 came. So that means there's 2 more that came on there, okay? So we can manually go. So what I'm doing is I'm just subtracting cumulative cases from the cases to date. So 11 minus 10, 13 minus 11, 18 minus 13, and we can do that. But let's do an equation, okay? We could put equals, and you're going to click on the cell that you want. And so I want to say, hey, whatever's in that cell, I want to subtract it to this cell. So in this situation, we're going to put F6 minus D6. You're going to hit enter, and voila, it says 5. So 18 minus 13 gets you 5, okay? Google Sheets does an awesome thing. It says they want to autofill it. I'm going to say I'm not, okay? Although that's what I want to do, they're smart enough to know that. If that did not pop up, see this little square here? I'm going to copy and paste this all the way down, okay? All the way to the bottom. And so what that's going to do is it's going to tell me how many were there, okay? So Basically what I did was, if you look at it and I got it back, see what we have is 1, 2, 5, 4, 8, 12. We got the same thing. So that's just something I want you guys to do, okay? So I want you guys to kind of leave that there. I want you guys to change this cell, and we're going to put new cases reported, okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to right click up on here, and we're going to hide this column here. Okay, we could double click this cell to kind of get it accurate. All right, stay next for my part 3.